Hello and welcome to The Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind, to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hasek. Hey guys, how are you and why are we doing this?
What is it, sweetie? Ben Affleck is naked in my bed.
We're here to talk about Gigli, Giggity with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, and I guess the not so developed subject of their kidnapping in this this romantic comedy romp around. Bob, I got nothing. I have no words. It's like, Bob, go ahead. What do you got?
Well, to me, it's Oscar season, and we just wrapped up the Oscars for 2023. And this movie, Gigli, had 3 Oscar winners starring in the movie.
Kidding. Well, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Wait, so is it Al Pacino, Walken,
yep,
and Affleck?
And Affleck, yes.
Wow.
Now,
I know.
does that mean
Affleck won for the first movie he did with Matt Damon? Why can't I think of it?
Yes, Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, does that mean anything in terms of quality or appeal for this movie? I mean,
I need to step in and ask you about the quality now, Bob, because I didn't realize that was Al Pacino. I thought that was Joe Mantegna. From Criminal Minds, and there goes my limerick. You'll find out why.
Oh no! I'm glad we said something then.
No, it's even funnier now. It's gonna be twice as funny.
I thought it was fucking Rossi.
I already vote for Rob 4 stars.
I thought it was Rossi from fucking Criminal Minds, dude.
This is fantastic.
Okay,
thank God you know. We would have been sitting there staring at you like
you wouldn't have gotten the reference. Yeah, now you'll get the reference. Okay.
All right, cool. All right, YouTube.
Okay. God. You know what? I don't care what the haters say. I think Catwoman was great. This is a very strange batch of comments, so I'm going to burn through them. Number 1, the critics lied. The movie is good, and together, Ben and Jen are, and it's like a red-faced emoji with the furrowed eyebrows with a tongue out and like a teardrop.
Okay.
They didn't want Ben with her. That's all it was. Next comment. Their chemistry was great in this movie, and it's a smiling emoji with hearts for eyes. Next one. Heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji. We are right. The beauty and entertainment of this movie was overshadowed by their popularity as a couple. This movie is actually a good one and entertaining. Love it. Go Gigli. Go Benifer. Make us Benifer twins. And then it's like 2 chick emojis like standing with their hands on their hips, and then 3 exclamation points, and then 2 more hearts.
Wow.
Next one. Benifer is back, literally. And then I think I got 2 more. They always made a lot of sense. I'm glad they're back together. They just look right together. His ex-wife was too good for him. No offense to her. She's lovely. And no offense to J-Lo either. She's just more street, more badass. And that's what works with Ben. And I actually got 2 more. All right. Good to see these 2 back together. Ben, handsome and talented and deserves happiness. Last one. This started their downfall as a couple back then. Bad reviews and media trying to break them. For some reason, now they are back together. This movie makes more sense and I want to watch it again. Heart emoji, smiley face, heart emoji, smiley face, heart emoji, laughing emoji with single tear, 2 hand clap emoji, heart emoji.
All right. So your theory of the more emoticons you use, the more mentally unstable you are.
Yes.
That is tried and true.
So is there a mental illness emoji you can comment after all these?
Probably. I'm going to go with this one right here.
Like a brain with a Band-Aid on it?
Yeah. The one with the bandage that's like tied around the head. That might work. All right, let's do test number 1, the worst of its kind.
Sure.
Okay, funny. First one starring Al Pacino is Scent of a Woman. Okay. It is, in fact, Al Pacino. 87%. Hooah!
All right.
Jersey Girl, Ben Affleck, 43, so quite a drop off. He's got a lot of really bad movies. Made in Manhattan with J-Lo, a 38.
Okay.
So not so good there for her either.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy, not sure why, but 83% there. I actually have not seen that.
That's fine.
I haven't either.
That's good.
That's not like one of the things.
It's good enough.
Yeah. Clooney and J-Lo star side by side in a movie called Out of Sight from the 90s, I think it was.
Yeah.
It came in with a 94%. I was shocked.
What?
Yeah, I've never seen it. Obviously, I didn't even know what it was, but 94 is a hell of a score. Giving us an average of 69%, very fitting for this movie. What do you guys think that Gigli was able to come in with this week?
Based off of YouTube comments alone, I'm going to give this an 87.
87. Okay,
that's a bad idea. But I know critics saw this, so I'm going to have to go down in the 40.
6.
Yeah.
6%.
So that's like Christmas with the Cranks territory again.
Yeah,
that's our measuring stick for single-digit ratings.
It is that bad. I agree. Right. It's a negative 63 and worse. That is okay. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. We'll compare that to Battlefield Earth in the movie comparison. Yeah. For now, we'll go to test number 2. Ain't that a pitch?
Sure.
Now, ain't that a pitch?
Can I just get mine out of the way because I fucked up?
Sure.
Okay. There once was a fat butt and pancake head who must kidnap a retard or they'll be dead. They had a run-in with Rossi, mailed the wrong thumb to his posse. Affleck's dick sneeze got all up on her bed.
Awesome. I went last week, so I feel like I should not get that privilege twice in a row.
Okay. Yeah, I went first last week.
Okay. Affleck is a dumb mafia goon. J-Lo is smart, and she likes poon. The Hangover's Doug is a horny handicapped punk, and this episode might trigger an aneurysm soon.
Okay. Eating up.
All right. I went with a Gigli rhyme. There once was a movie called Gigli that should have been better in theory. It's an Oscar winner extravaganza, but it's a bad taste bonanza. I feel hatred for this film severely.
Very nice. So do I. I just straight up agree, and I'm going to go Rob, and I'll give him a 4 as well.
Yeah, I voted already.
Yep. So I'll jot that down as we head into test number 3, the most offensive.
I don't know if this film's going to have anything, but we'll see.
And I'll meet you. What was that again? And I'll meet you. That's what I thought you said. I'm offended.
The bumper pales in comparison.
Honestly, really, we should, for next season, we should use something from this movie probably.
Yeah.
Here's the problem that I have. All of the acting and dialogue clips are offensive.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So I actually don't have as much as you might expect. I've got plenty, but we're gonna just say that this test is going to tag team with the worst dialogue and worst acting this week. How's that sound?
Yes, nice.
So consider all 3 when considering the most offensive. Starting with, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but simulating psych wards. And the problem I have with simulating psych wards is either everybody in the psych ward is pretending to have some kind of issue, or everyone in there does, and then you have to debate whether or not it's okay to be filming them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
good call.
To me, it's offensive either way. Number 2, second rate, super erratic, suspect Rain Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is Doug from The Hangover, and he is not good at pretending to be mentally handicapped. Whatever the issue is that he has.
Yeah.
It's beat for beat Rain Man, only you don't have any of the smart shit that comes with Rain Man.
It's inconsistent. It's very inconsistent.
It's absolutely inconsistent. He starts off as difficult a project as you can imagine. being, not he won't agree to anything that Ben Affleck's character Larry Gigli, suggests. He won't go along with anything really, but getting in the car. And by the end of the movie, they're best friends, which I think is supposed to be more about Gigli's arc, but it is it's really inconsistent. It's the right word, Bob. I agree.
Yeah.
Number 3, kidnapping the handicappable. Don't do it.
Yeah, no, don't do
it. It's never a good look to do that.
No, agreed. And it's on both of them.
If you do, maybe you should have ice cream on hand. Because that was a point of contention in the
True.
In the series.
True. Number 4, telling a teen you'll tear out his memory. I mean, the kid's playing some music, and J-Lo threatens to pull his eyes out in such a way that he won't remember having seen anything.
Yeah. Or the visual cortex bullshit.
Yeah, some mumbo jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I think, Rob, you'll like this one. We'll see if you guys understand what I mean. The Sicilian switch hitter at number 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Sheely's mom can't resist J-Lo, apparently. It starts out bad because she's like, "Oh, you two look great together," and she doesn't know that J-Lo is a scissor sister. She doesn't know that. But she finds that out, and then she's like, "Oh, you'll never know," you guys should keep working at it or whatever, like they're trying. And then she basically propositions. What is her name? I keep calling her J-Lo, but I shouldn't be. I should be calling her.
It was Ricky for most of the movie.
Ricky for most of the movie.
Wasn't like Miranda or something, or
I forget what it was by the end. I forget.
Yeah. Nobody cares. Ricky, I guess we'll go.
Rochelle.
With Rochelle. Okay.
Yeah. It just hit me.
Okay. Well, the Sicilian switch hitter.
Yeah.
Number 6, Scalding coffee distraction to steal corpse digit. Did you? I thought that the whole distraction.
Which part of that's worse?
Seriously, I don't know. It's also a big catch-all moment, but we'll get into that later. For now, I thought J-Lo was going to use her tatas. She had no problem with that in this movie to distract the guy, but instead she decides to knock over a scalding hot coffee all over him. Yeah. Which I guess works, but it didn't even look from the perspective of the camera that the guard was able to see the entrance to the morgue room anyway.
Yeah.
So all of this for naught. I mean, you can't think about cameras because they're caught if cameras are a thing in this hospital.
Yeah.
So number 7, feminine Affleck finally funks the female fatale.
Right, but right.
The femme fatale. Originally I said feminine Affleck finally funks the feminist, but it sounds a little like I'm anti-feminist or something. I don't know. It just felt wrong to me, so I wrote femme fatale.
All right.
But I'm assuming you guys know what I mean. The entire movie, he's working to get into the pants of this lesbian, gay woman who is not interested at all and shouldn't be if she's not interested in men.
Yeah,
and he succeeds.
It's basically the plot to Chasing Amy, which also had Ben Affleck present.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It's because basically wasn't Chasing Amy like Jason Lee having a similar scenario?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I only saw it once back in.
And Ben Affleck was kind of like from that graduating class. He was in a lot of the early Jay and Silent Bob stuff, and like
Mallrats. Plays a douche. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote number 8 and so much more because we're going to be talking about a lot more. But do you guys want to mention anything? And please be careful because you might step on the toes of future tests.
Yeah. Let's just let it ride. I'm gonna let it ride.
Just the constant utterance of slurs. I mean, it was just the R word. I want to say they used a couple other ones. I forget what they were, but that's the big one.
That is the big one. The R word does make its ugly appearance often, and it's a real shame, unfortunately. Yeah. Test number 4, the worst dialogue. This is going to be totally insane. Let's do it.
It's the worst dialogue.
All right, this is where we're really going to get into the meat of the movie. This is we already went over how offensive it is. As I said, just give it a listen. Clip number 5, maybe not that offensive. I mean, Ben Affleck's got a guy in a drying machine, but other than that, we'll just let it go. Number 5, beef jerky.
Sorry, long day. Where was I? Okay. Well, a human body is like 80% moisture, right? How much do you weigh? 165, 170? Now, figure if you could somehow extract 80% of that, you'd have, give me a second, 34 pounds of like solid, not meat, it'd be more like beef jerky, you know, but with hair and bones and teeth, shriveled up tattoos and whatnot. Oh, probably like this big. In any event, you starting to follow my drift here, Pappy? Because somebody has some money that belongs to Lewis. Is it you, perchance? Is it you that has some money that belongs to Lewis?
No.
Is it?
No.
Is it?
No.
No? You sure? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna start this thing and leave. What do you think, permanent press or delicate?
That's so cheesy.
Those are the dryer settings I have at my house, so it's relatable.
Oh, yes, you can relate. The dialogue there is pretty bad. I mean, he's supposed to be a cold, like callous, tough guy who's like actually gonna leave the laundromat with this guy like rolling around, tumbling around in a dryer. One, I think it's not gonna hold 170 pounds for very long. He's probably gonna
It'd drop out and bottom out.
Yeah, I think so. 2, he says something about how he'd be a shriveled up like ball of skin and tattoo and like teeth and bones, and then he's like, it's probably about this big, but like all of your bones are not going to be in a little satchel like this big.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I'm knocking them for that. But mostly what's annoying about it to me is that Ben Affleck does not sound like a tough mafia guy to me. He sounds like he's from Boston and he's trying to do like a New York Italian guy accent, but it's coming out kind of Jewish. You know?
Yeah.
It's just weird to me. You know that like New York Cat's Deli kind of sound?
Like Costanza.
I think that's what he's going for. Yeah. More of that.
Yeah, something like that. He's in LA.
Right before the scene that we just played for you starts, he's screaming at a guy who wants to do his laundry. He walks in the laundromat and he's like, "What are you fucking doing? You want to get in the middle of this or whatever?" It's just all not convincing. Not funny. Definitely not funny. Let's move it to clip number 4. This one bless you.
That woman is fucking beautiful.
Yeah. She's like the ones to Baywatch. Yeah. They make my penis sneeze.
You got a good sense of humor. You know that?
God bless you.
Thank you.
No, not you, stupid. When my penis sneezes, I say, God bless you. God bless you, penis.
It's the fucking music.
Yeah, the music is insane.
It doesn't help.
She's gonna be okay.
What a relief.
Brian?
Yeah, the music. I had to keep that clip going for the music. It's so like uplifting, and the kid's talking about his penis exploding in his pants. Super weird.
Top-notch writing on this one.
Yes, absolutely. All right, number 3, I'm going to do myself. Actually,
3.
It's short and sweet. Okay, is Gigli himself. It's Ben Affleck. After J-Lo, Ricky does the eye tearing out monologue we were talking about. That's kind of offensive because she's telling a teen she's going to rip his eyes out.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's character Gigli walks up to the same teen and he picks up the computer that he has and he goes, "Nice computer." And he snaps it in half and he goes, "Here, suckmydick.com." And he walks up like he's supposed to be some real tough guy. When Ricky was the one who did the like tough already, so he looks emasculated. He looks like a bitch kind of, because he couldn't handle it.
It's equivalent to Christopher McDonald's character in Grease 2, like the head guy would like make the joke and you're just like a pile of cat food. He's like, pile of cat food. Like
exactly.
Yeah, it did come off like that, but suckmydick.com had me laughing for the wrong reasons.
Can you believe he improvised that?
He's the best improv actor I've ever seen. We only had one computer that he could snap.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Another clip. These last two are absolutely nuts. Starting with number 2, turkey time.
Where are you going?
It's turkey time.
Huh?
Gobble, gobble.
What?
Now you talk the talk. You know I'm expecting you to walk the walk. Come on. Show me what I've been missing my whole life. Lay some of that sweet heterolingus on me.
Heterolingus.
I think, to be serious, I just, I think, I was thinking, you're right. And you said, probably actually a woman might know more about what feels better to another woman. She's a woman herself. A guy might be at a certain disadvantage. It's like needing like a handicap, like golf.
Go on.
Turkey time. Gobble, gobble.
See, I thought I was going to go in a different direction because, isn't turkey's done like a euphemism for having a boner because a thermometer pops out?
I didn't know that. That's
so funny. If you see a hot chick, you go, "Turkey's done." Because
yeah. Okay,
snub,
Yeah. Okay. I don't. I showed that clip to my wife just to give her a sense of how horrible this movie is, completely insane. And she was like, "What does that mean?" I was sitting there thinking about it, turkey time, gobble gobble. I gobble it up is the best I got,
I guess.
Well, and
that's gross.
That WAP song, she says, "Swallow it, gobble it." I think, right?
Gobble, yeah, gobble it.
Yeah,
but that came out way later.
Yeah,
way later.
Wait, it came out last year, didn't it? 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. There are things that I want to say that I think are too offensive even for our podcast, which is crazy offensive sometimes. As bad as that was, I really thought about just after she said gobble gobble, just ending the clip there, because I thought it might be funny to have, a real short clip, because that's really the meat of it. But it does sound like Ben Affleck is drunk. His character is so thick-headed sometimes that he, the way he explains that it should be a handicap in golf takes him 40 seconds there, and it's clunky and it's dumb, so I included it.
Right.
But let's do. We got a drum roll and a little sound bumper before this one. Take that time to prepare yourself for what is maybe the weirdest 20 seconds that we will ever play on this podcast. Let's do number 1. Drum roll, please. Ice cream.
Go down to Marie Callender's. Get me a big bowl. Pie, some ice cream on it. Good. Put some on your head. Your tongue would slap your brains out trying to get to it. Interested? Yeah.
Leave it to Walken.
Can we play it again?
Yeah, let's just.
Can we do it again, please?
Yeah. So,
Oh, it's over? Again.
Right, one more time.
Go down to Marie Callender's. Get me a big bowl. Pie, some ice cream on it. Good. Put some on your head. Your tongue would slap your brains out trying to get to it. Interested? Yeah.
I feel like Christopher Walken was like on an ether frolic, just happened to be on like the film lot. And like, yeah, can you come over here? Like, we need like 3 minutes of your time. And they just set it up and he did that scene.
Oh my god. What is that? Do you think that was improv or was that written? Were they like, Chris, we need you to be real weird, dude. Just go in there and be like a really odd detective guy for a couple of minutes.
He may have improvised that, and like he was probably like, that was bad. Can we do it again? Like, no, that's gold. Let's leave it.
That's what we need.
Yeah. We couldn't get Jamie Kennedy on this one, so we got to get Christopher Walken.
Got the next best thing. So just to walk you through it, he says he's going to go to Marie Callender's to get a big bowl of pie, some ice cream on it. Then he goes, good, right? And then he says, put some on your hair. Or does he say head? I'm not sure which.
I'm not sure.
I think head, but what difference does it make?
Put some on your head. Your tongue will slap your brains out trying to get to it. and then he says, interested? And J-Lo and Affleck are like, no thanks. And he goes, sure. like it's Walken channeling Willem Dafoe for a second. Really, 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 really weird. I'm glad we played it twice. Rob, your ad read, please.
Oh, okay. Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Boomer Brand Future Fossil Fuels. They didn't care about the economy. They didn't care about the environment. But joke's on them because we'll be pumping their corpses into our cars in only a matter of decades. That's right. The spam and eggs permeating from their porous, decomposing flesh bags will congeal, break down, and regroup into something that's actually useful. But they'll still find a way to say you don't like to work, even though you're pumping their free love straight into your gas tank on your way to your third job because it's the only way you could afford healthcare. Boomer Brand Fossil Fuels. They'll get you where you're going so long as they don't have to convert a PDF into a Word document.
Very nice.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
All right. Nice. Useful. Yes. Yeah, I agree. That would be useful. Test number 5, the worst production. Take it away, Bob.
No need to add scripts or budgets, because now it's time for the worst production.
I never know how much research you guys do on these movies, so the tagline for worst production is the original ending was better.
Okay,
right.
I don't know. Tell me.
Okay. And this is what I found, because we know what made this movie so bad. But what could have made it better is, I think, what really is the issue. So,
okay,
the original ending had Larry Gigli being killed by the mob.
Yeah, that would have been a lot better.
Yeah, that would have been good.
So that satisfied enough of my dislike of the last act.
Yeah,
because the last act of the film, like, he was like giving away his possessions, he was like making amends, he was helping Brian go to Baywatch. And that would make sense that he was like meeting his end, but no, it didn't happen. So like, there's no way he'd get away with what he got away with in terms of the mob.
No,
like he'd be dead on sight. But the stupid test audiences disagreed, and we're left with a shit ending of a shit movie.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
it is way too soft and creepy.
They wanted to make it. I think they were going for like. The thumb thing gave me Lebowski vibes. Like, I can get you a thumb by 3 p.m. with nail polish. Like, you know,
with
nail
polish.
I think they wanted to like do that like Coen Brothers type thing, but they wanted to shoehorn all the rom-com into it, which to Bob's point is like they could have had a more compelling ending. It'd still be a shit movie probably, but it would have been like darker and funnier if they did that.
Rob, I didn't see the Coen Brother feel, but I
No, because
totally
it wasn't.
feel it now.
I'm just saying they were
Right.
trying to.
No,
and
no. I see it now. I absolutely
Right.
see what you mean. I feel like they just couldn't commit to making it that kind of gruff because they wanted it to appeal to more people.
Yeah.
Maybe, and that's why the ending ended. Was the way that it was. They did do some kind of daring things, like they pushed the sexual boundary far too much, in my opinion. Because it really, for me, it just felt like it was Ben Affleck and J-Lo trying to prove to everyone in the world that they have good sexual chemistry, and they were willing to fund a movie to do that. That's what it felt like. I know that's not what this was, but that's what it felt like.
My worst production goes to also what the original intention of the movie was. The original intention of the movie was to make a mobster movie, but when J-Lo and Affleck had a relationship, they said, let's make it a rom-com. So the director / writer actually wasn't behind this vision, but he did it anyway. And that just goes.
So the studio was like, we need to change up the feel of the movie.
Totally.
That sucks. I do think, and Bob, it's something we talk about sometimes. You specifically is the redemption arc, and I did mention it before that it does feel kind of like it's supposed to be a redemption arc for Gigli, but I don't think that he can be redeemed for how horrible he was in the beginning. So I think he needed to die in the end. I think that would have been a lot better.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So good on you, and we'll move it on to test number 6 unless you guys got anything else.
No.
All right, the worst acting.
Ah, Ben Affleck spooge.
Okay. Yeah, so we actually have more clips here than we do for dialogue, believe it or not. So, starting with number 1, this is Affleck going a little crazy. This is probably why around here in Pearl Harbor people were saying he's not a good actor. So let's start with number 1. Reputation.
This. And if you have any decaffeinated or herbal tea, I would really be most appreciative.
I want tea.
2 teas.
Let me tell you something, okay? I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but I don't work like this. You got that? If you want to talk about reputations, and if by some fucking miracle long shot you haven't heard of my reputation, you know who the fuck I am. I am the fucking Sultan of Slick, Sadie. I am the rule of fucking cool. You want to be a gangster? You want to be a thug? Just sit at my fucking feet. Gather the pearls that emanate forth from me. Because I'm the fucking original straight, first, foremost, pimp, Mac, fucking hustler, original gangster's gangster.
Is he?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna go and get my stuff. Don't you worry your little gangster head about it. I can manage.
She's rough there too.
Yep.
She's rough there too. But
he was at Reindeer Games.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that bad writing, but worse delivery.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe a word he says about being a tough guy. The Sultan of Slick or whatever, the rule of cool.
Yeah.
The original gangster's gangster bullshit. Just I don't believe a word he's saying.
He sounds like a down on his luck, like off-Broadway actor trying to recite Shakespeare.
Fair. You want to hear more from him?
Yeah.
This might be a little bit more convincing because he's talking about number 2. The penis.
They have their shortcomings.
Besides the fact that they give terrible head.
See, right there, that tells me something. I know the guys you've been with obviously didn't know how to bring home the pearls when they were diving for oysters.
I was actually just joking.
Well, letting it all hang out now. Let me tell you something else. Okay, when it comes to pleasing a woman, your girlfriends, They're at a natural disadvantage.
Clam smacking.
It's like they might try hard, but they're just not backed up. Millions of years of genetic engineering, programming, instinct. Nature has evolved man for that purpose. Satisfy. Lead the pack. That's why these lesbians are always going out buying, spending all their dough on sexual appliances, erotic monkey wrenches and shit, trying to compensate for what they don't have. They're not getting. Penis. That's right.
What they don't have.
That's right.
The
That's
penis.
right.
Penis. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, the penis.
Yeah, maybe a little more convincing there, because he probably really believes everything you just said. But it's just unbelievable that this was a thing in 2003.
Yeah,
2004.
I think 2003. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a thing that happened. You guys want to hear her response?
I would love to.
Okay, well, let's play number 3. The vagina.
Yeah.
Kiss the lips. Firm, delicious. Lips, sweet lips. Surrounding a warm, moist, dizzyingly scented mouth.
There's just a guy with a classical guitar in the
That's what
background.
everyone wants to kiss. Not a toe. Not a sea slug. A mouth.
And
why do
a
you
flute,
think
I
that
think.
is, stupid? Because the mouth is the twin sister, the almost exact look-alike of the what? Not the toe. The mouth is the twin sister of the vagina.
What the fuck?
And all creatures big and small seek the orifice, the opening to be taken in, engulfed, to be squeezed and lovingly crushed by what is truly the all-powerful, all-encompassing.
Did I cut out before vagina?
Yeah. That she calls her. She doesn't call it a vagina. Actually, again, she calls it something else.
Yeah.
Something I think was supposed to be a little more seductive at the end there.
All right.
She's treating the situation like an elementary school classroom. She's like, okay, the lips are like what?
Yeah.
the no is the vagina.
Not a toe. Not a toe.
Not a toe.
Not a sea cucumber.
If somebody needed a simultaneous emergency tonsillectomy and hysterectomy, they're not going to confuse the lips that they're going to have to go past to breach those two issues.
But they're twin sisters.
Yeah.
Twins.
Yeah. Really crazy stuff. Have we convinced you yet? Do we have to finish the pod? I don't even think we really need to at this point. All right.
We put all the work in. We might as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I might as well do it. Plus, I really want to do fact or no fact to catch all. To hear your alternate ending to the shit. I hope it's that Gigli dies.
Yeah.
All right. After number 3 comes number 4. The breakup.
A fucking man? Okay, I really thought this was all about Sharon.
What are you telling people where we are now?
Mind your own fucking business.
Shut the fuck up.
Blow me.
Listen, both of you shut up. Look, I haven't told anybody where we are. And Robin, this is a professional situation. Our problems have nothing to do with Sharon, and they have nothing to do with him. I want you to leave right now.
No.
Please.
I'm not leaving. He's leaving.
Who the fuck do you think you are? I fucking live here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah? Well, neither am I. And all there is to that.
Why are you doing this?
How about if I throw you the fuck out?
How about if I roundhouse you upside your fat fucking head and collapse your skull?
I don't know. How about I give it a shot?
No, don't, because she knows how to do that stuff, okay? And don't.
I don't give a
be
fuck
all
what she
macho,
knows.
stupid,
This ain't fucking
okay?
lesbian talk circle time. We got something to do. You're getting the fuck out. Got it?
I mean, this? You need this? You need like a little freedom or something? You want to dabble? We can all fuck. You know, we can all have sex together. That's fine. Say, Hot Rocks, would you like that, huh?
So you're fucking out of your mind.
You know you want it.
Look, our situation has nothing to do with him. It's over. And it's
listening to this without like watching the video in real time.
Yeah.
All I could envision is that one picture of Ben Affleck standing outside having a cigarette when he's just like, you know the picture, right?
Yeah,
he's like
I see that one.
Shirt, like a blue sweater.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah.
Doesn't he have like a bag and it's like a groceries or something in his other hand?
He's just standing there like just defeated. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like the first reading after you've read your script and you know it, but you haven't worked out any of the kinks live with your partners. That's what it sounds like to me. Like you're on stage and like half of the set is there, and you're working on your blocking, and you know you're saying the lines that you know real well, but you haven't learned how to work off of each other at all. It's like that to me. It's like when she says she's gonna roundhouse his fat head and break in his skull. It is so cringy. And then and then J-Lo is like, no, she could really do that stuff, and that's really cringy too. But Ben Affleck's constant F-bombs, like just trying to sound like a gangster, is bad. It's just all, it's just all like sends shivers up your spine.
Here's a stat for you: 124. Guess what that number represents? Yeah, 124 fucks. That's right.
I'm not at all surprised. And how many of them were Gigli?
80? Probably half.
Yeah,
and then the rest were Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Al Pacino in number.
Yeah, you mean Detective Rossi, right?
Rossi.
5.
Rossi.
Yeah, in total thumb asses.
And whether you want to call a thumb, a finger, or a digit, for the sake of this discussion, it doesn't really matter. You know why? Because whatever you choose to call it, a thumb has a fingerprint. And the one you sent had the wrong fucking one.
Mr. Starkman.
I know my fucking name! You piece of shit! You don't try to extort a federal fucking prosecutor! And if you do, you don't fuck around!
Oh, no, you didn't!
That's basically exactly what happens after that point. We had to get Pacino in there too. He goes to 14 on the emotometer for sure. That's a little crazy, but hey, we got some Christopher Walken and Al Pacino lines.
Yeah.
In this movie podcast, so they have. I don't think we've had either of them, right? Have we?
No.
Not
since I've been around.
Well, there's a reason for that. They choose better movies.
They seriously just had to be on an adjacent lot, like filming something good, and they had like an afternoon off, and like walked over to the Gigli set to see what was going on. They're like, hey, can we use it for a minute? Like, there's no other explanation.
You guys want like $100,000 a piece? We could use it.
We have 70 million to burn through, apparently. So
yeah. What the fuck? What did they spend it on?
Like 2 locations in the entire movie.
Seriously,
there's like the apartment and like the Baywatch.
The Baywatch.
Yeah. All right, fact or no fact?
Right.
Yes.
Bob is a liar. He will lie to confuse us, but he will also mix lies with the truth to attack us. His attack is psychological and powerful.
All right. Chris already stole it. It's called Gigli. Anyway,
Gigli.
The fact or no fact is looking for the fact out of 5 things that may be facts. And in this one, Bob Foolery only plays one role. One of these lines is Bob Foolery. 3 of them are complete made-up lies, and 1 of them is a fact.
All right.
Okay.
And it's for you to figure out the fact. Okay, so here are the 5 things. First one. Jennifer Lopez's and Ben Affleck's combined salaries are equal to the film's worldwide gross. Okay, second one. The director / writer retired from making movies after the reception of this film.
Yep.
Okay, third one. The actor playing Brian, that's the mentally handicapped actor, performer, received hate mail and a threat of disability harassment lawsuit from Autism Speaks. Fourth one, Christopher Walken ad-libbed nearly all of his lines as he didn't like what was written for him. And last one, Al Pacino has never watched this movie.
This is tough. Okay, so like, I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan, and he's gone on record saying like, I like being in movies, but like years later he'll finally watch them because like, you know, he finally has a chance to like, he just does his thing, then bounces and does the next thing. So I could believe that Al Pacino never watched it. Christopher Walken, we kind of assumed he ad-libbed. Actor playing Brian received hate mail from Autism Speaks. That makes sense because like didn't like Brendan Fraser just recently get a bunch of hate for like portraying a fat guy because he wasn't really fat, and like people portray like paraplegics and they're not really paraplegics. Yeah, because they're an actor. Because like how many paraplegics are actors? The actor could probably act better than the person who's not an actor. So I that's believable. Writer, director retired after the reception of the film. I think that's the Bob Foolery. I think he probably retired, was going to retire. Because like, you know, if Tarantino says he's going to do 10 films and he does his 10th film, like, and the 10th film's not received well, he said he was going to do 10 and he's done after 10. So like,
yeah,
I think that might just be a parallel situation where he was going to retire anyways. And then their combined salaries are equal to the worldwide gross. I actually looked up how much this movie cost, and I think it only earned back like 10% of its budget because it was like 70 mil, and I think it only pulled like 7 or 8 mil. So that's believable. The salaries, they think what 3.5 mil each, or like 4 for one, 3 for the other.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go with my gut and say that Al Pacino never watched this movie because it was a very, very small amount of screen time, and if it was just like a one day on the lot, he probably doesn't even remember being in it. It's just like something he did for like a quick paycheck in between whatever. So I'm gonna go number 5 is the fact.
All right, Chris.
It's funny because I said earlier that Christopher Walken ad-libbed those lines, and that's number 4. So I'd really like to go for that to back myself up. Like, you know, I'm a hundred on that, but I'm not going to because I can still claim that I knew it if I pick another one. So I'm gonna go. I think that Brian, the guy who played Doug in The Hangover, who plays a handicapped person here, I don't hope that he did, but I kind of hope that he did get a lot of hate mail. And Autism Speaks might be the one to send it to him. I think that's believable. So I'm going to go with number 3. Brian got a lot of hate mail after this movie. And then if it's number 4, I'm going to take credit anyway.
I'm going to go in order because Chris feels like I'm targeting him.
Yes.
Okay. J-Lo and Ben Affleck each were paid $12 million.
Jesus Christ.
So this is the Bob Foolery.
More than the gross, yeah.
You are exactly right, Rob. The movie made $7 million. Their combined salaries tripled the gross of the movie.
Yeah, more.
Jesus
more
Christ.
than tripled.
It dwarfed it.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay. The director actually did retire from making movies after the reception of this film.
Okay, so that's the fact. Fuck.
That's the fact.
Damn it.
So the other 3 I completely made up off the top of my head.
Well, good on you, because I
thought the actor playing Brian should have received hate mail.
He absolutely should have.
I feel like Christopher Walken, if he made that up, good on him. And Al Pacino
So
should
did I.
have never watched this movie.
Yeah.
Agreed. And maybe he. Are we sure that he did? Are we sure that he? Are we sure that he watched it? Are we sure that?
I'm
that
pretty
Christopher Walken
sure.
didn't
I'm
have the
pretty sure there was a note I read about him attending the premiere.
Okay.
Okay.
So that means unless he sat there with his fingers in his ears saying la 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 la, then he
Right.
Wearing one of those sleep blindfolds.
which is what I think I did for the last third of this movie.
Yeah.
Which I can appreciate, and so should you. Yeah. Wow. All right. Okay, so I lose, and I don't even get to claim any credit. That sucks. Oh, Rob, you lost too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the catch-all.
If you've caught one, you've caught them all. Welcome to the catch-all.
Yeah.
Here we go. Ben Affleck as a scary mob dude is just funny. Public extortion from Lewis early. He's extorting someone in a very public place, like right next to people eating lunch.
Like a sidewalk cafe, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
which is extra funny because they walk away. He and Gigli walk away, and after that, they're speaking in code when they're pretty much alone. There's no one near them, and they're speaking in code now. After speaking very directly about crime in front of diners.
An example of that, I used to buy weed from this guy, and if he was like in a situation, he would just answer, be like, "Blockbuster's closed," and hang up. But like, so it's like that'd be like asking to buy a weed from somebody in front of cops, but like when you're like one-on-one in like a private area, like, "Hey, yeah, can we go to Blockbuster, man? I want to get some pizza at Blockbuster."
Exactly, that's exactly what it's like. So Gigli has gym equipment, so he must be tough in his apartment.
Yeah.
I think that we were supposed to, because he's like lifting in the bathroom, but if you look in the background, he's got like a Bowflex and stuff. And I think because he's not super jacked, they want you to know that he does lift or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave this here: 3 to 5 cups of spit. Do you guys remember that at all? Does that ring a bell?
That was when he first brought Brian home, right?
Yeah, he's like, how many cups of spit do you think you drink a day? Or swallow a day? And then he's like 3 to 5 cups.
Oh, yeah.
3 to 5 cups of spit. And I was just baffled by that. He's not jacked. He's not even 90s jacked. So this goes towards like he's not scary at all. He's really not even like ripped like he would be in the 90s if you were a tough guy in a tough guy movie. Walken could have just waited for a half an hour outside of Gigli's house, and then he would have had Brian.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought of that the whole movie.
Well, he had to head on over to Mary Callender's and get a bunch of ice cream and pie that he could lick off the top of his head.
He really is putting it in his hair and just like.
They're driving Brian by and they just see him in the window of the shop, just like.
That would have made the movie better.
It would have. It really would have. They're never even worried that he's lurking or tailing them at any point.
No, not once.
J-Lo gives Gigli the psychoanalysis in the car, which was super cheesy, in my opinion. Gigli's mom isn't at all curious about what is going on here. What's this situation where you have this like beautiful lesbian and handicapped youngie in my house right now? She doesn't ask any questions at all. The determination to turn a lesbian straight is the thing that I had said was offensive before, but it's moving on.
She just hasn't had a real man yet,
Yeah, exactly.
It's super offensive.
It's incredibly offensive.
Yeah.
Men are at the top of the must fuck pyramid. That was a honorable mention for worst dialogue.
Yeah.
Did Affleck and J-Lo fund this super soft? Okay, so I said this already, but softcore porno movie to prove that the world that they have chemistry. J-Lo can't really be lovingly crushed by a vagina, though.
You can elaborate.
Everybody has the desire to be lovingly crushed by a vagina, but she, unless she wants to stick her hand in there or something. Like, do Kegels. Do kegels.
Yeah.
I've got my hands in there.
Do you ever see I'm not like a huge fan of Family Guy, but credit where it's due on like their fucking zingers when they're all in a lesbian bar and Quagmire walks up to two chicks. He's like, "Hey, any of you ever been penetrated before?" And that's his pickup line. And you just see him fly out of the bar.
Speaking of which, Lewis yells at Gigli, "Put the clam liquor on the phone."
Yeah. I thought that was going to make it the most offensive, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, it made it here. Very claustrophobic movie. We kind of mentioned this, but it's really only in his apartment or in the car.
Yeah.
Which does beg the question where that 70 million go. 24 of it went to J-Lo and Ben Affleck, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
2 mob contractors, neither of which is cold-blooded.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, just not believable. Oh, the mentally handicapped kid is too cute to maim. Look at him rap.
Yeah.
Very childish sexual dialogue. I think Ben Affleck calls her a Dicosaurus Rex when he's talking about how frustrated he is that he can't have sex with her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Poor Larry Gigli is going to have to find a different woman to bang. Well, he's
not easy growing up anywhere.
True. Especially in your pants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't cutting through that thumb with a fucking plastic butter knife.
No, especially like after rigor mortis sets in, right? Isn't that gonna be harder to do it?
There's just no chance that you're gonna use that Outback Steakhouse like plastic cutlery bag.
Yeah, there's no way.
Food to cut through a thumb. It's just never gonna happen. Was this the original of the feminine made nail assessment posture dispute thing? You know, you guys remember that? Like when we were younger, people would say like, "Hey, look at your nails," before you knew what was happening. If you looked at them like this, then you're gay.
So here's what you do. Here's your way out of that, right? You ready?
Yeah.
You go, I don't know, let me check. And then you do one this way and one that way because you want your thumbs pointing the same way, you know, for symmetry.
Oh, okay.
And then you go like that. So that way you're doing both and they can't, no one will be the wiser, you know?
So Rob's bisexual.
Yes.
That's
going on the write up.
Or you just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you don't care at all. Which, unfortunately, when I was like in middle school and this happened, I did. I was like, I think I did the feminine hand thing, and I was kind of afraid that meant that I was gay.
It's in the same
like,
wheelhouse.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
it's in the same wheelhouse when somebody pinches your neck and like, are you a turtle or a rabbit? And if you go like that, you're like, you're a rabbit or a turtle. I mean,
yeah,
something stupid like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to clarify, when I was in middle school, if you were homosexual, you would be made fun of mercilessly, which is I was afraid of being made fun of, you know. So I was like, oh shit, I did the nail thing wrong. But I was wondering if this is where the nail thing came from.
No, possibly. I don't think so.
Okay.
No. What was this? 06 or what year was this?
03.
03.
03. There's no way.
Yeah, you're probably right. Probably not.
I came before this.
So now they're making out, of course. Of course they are. Now it's turkey time. I ask you, where is Brian during all of the fucking? Is he like, having a dick sneeze contest in the next room?
He's reading the side of all the cereal boxes.
Yeah, probably. The callback to God Bless You Penis when Ben Affleck says it in the bed wouldn't make any sense to her. Instead, she would misinterpret it, thinking like, thank you for working this time or something, maybe wondering if he was unable, if he needed Viagra or something on the regular.
Yeah.
Al Pacino, what were you thinking? And what a super monologue by him. It was like a 7-minute monologue. We just clipped about a minute of it.
He really, really, really looks like Joe Mantegna in this film. I don't know if it was the makeup or the hair, but like, Joe Mantegna looks like, Pacino. Yeah. But like, it's, I didn't look at the credits. I honestly thought.
For whatever reason, my wife used to mix up young De Niro, young Pacino, which makes no sense to me, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not, her. So I don't know.
Yeah, weird. Just like the Godfather guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess so.
Never again do we see Walken.
No.
Nope.
It's super
never
strange
again.
that he just does the cameo, and he is not an element to be feared in the movie ever again.
He was on
Really
his way to... Go ahead.
No, really, Pacino was the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, just a quick cameo and then not a threat.
Walken was like on his way to shoot that Fat Boy Slim video. He was just getting loosened up.
Dude, he's a strange character.
He really is.
She convinced the mob boss with that lame ass gibbery Jew at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gigli's advice to Brian is not likely to bear fruit, in my opinion.
No.
Yeah.
He takes him to the Baywatch before dropping him off. He gives him some relationship advice.
Plus, if I can add something to the catch-all real quick.
Please.
They're having all these conversations in a fucking convertible on a highway. Do you ever have a conversation in a convertible on a highway?
That's a really good point. God damn.
The whole time I'm like, no, this isn't happening. This would never happen. He would never hear him. He would never be able to talk back. It'd be what?
Damn.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, I was working on music this week, and I showed Stacy a mix in the car, and we were on the highway, and one part of the highway is kind of like bumpy because they're like, leveling the road out, and she couldn't hear the mix like on the stereo at like 15, sitting right next to the speaker, and like it's like, yeah, I'll show you later. Like it's so imagine you having your top dropped off yet.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. Speaking of driving,
to say, I thought you'd say that, but I was dying to say it myself.
No, but I do have one about the car.
Okay.
Casually driving all over town with the kidnapped prosecutor's brother seems like a really bad idea. With the top down in your convertible.
Yep.
I wrote agonizing, morally bankrupt ending.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't she drop him off somewhere?
Yeah.
Instead of leaving him at the scene of the crime.
They just kind of left him at the beach to like.
Yeah, right where Brian is.
Yeah.
And he's a known conspirator, and Christopher Walken was essentially pointing the finger at him earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's going to get arrested, and they don't make it clear that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Brian is getting turned down at that shoot. This is what I mean by the advice that Gigli gave him is not likely to bear fruit. Brian is talking to some like bombshell Australian chick, and he really loves her voice because earlier in the movie he calls a weather service channel in Australia just to hear the woman speaking because he likes her voice. So it's like supposed to be a cute thing that this Australian babe at the beach is like entertaining him. But I hate to say it, she's probably not going to entertain him for too long when he starts talking about his dick sneezing.
What's the desired result? Like, oh my god, you listen to traffic and weather too? Like,
right?
Like he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Yeah.
No.
Also, to be honest, the Australian accent is the least attractive accent next to like Scottish.
Yeah.
Wow, Bob. Prejudice.
It's just. If a woman came up to me with that accent, I'd be like, "Whoa, okay, I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere else." But you're not.
Like a drunk bloke from England if he like had a Texas accent.
If he got far too much sun and booze that day.
Yeah.
What's the message? This is my problem. If you're a homophobic, racist bully, you'll be fine. You're good.
Yeah. It's about the size of it. Now that you mention it.
I fucking hate this movie for that. For many, many reasons, most of which we've already gone through. They dropped him off at the place with cameras everywhere. This is my last one. Yep. They drop him off at a movie shoot or a television show shoot. He's going to be arrested. She's going to be arrested. They're on camera, for sure. Okay, you guys got anything else?
Well, not just that, but they leave him without making sure he was picked up. They just left a random payphone call, and we're like, "You're going to get picked up," and then they left.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's horrible.
How do they know that he's not just going to wander the beach until he starves to death?
He's going to get thrown off the set and wander the beach exactly.
Yeah. Anything else, guys?
No.
All right. Smack us with that alternate ending round. Rob's alternate ending. Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to go Criminal Minds on this one. So, so basically after Pacino shoots the guy in the head against the fish tank, Rossi comes in with the rest of the gang, Garcia, that weird guy with the long hair, and the other dude.
Okay.
And then, they have the thumb. And then they go back to the car and they grab Brian. They're like, wait a minute. It's not a match, even though he has both his thumbs still attached to his body.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, like another 4-minute sex scene with Ben Affleck and J-Lo, and then the credits fade to black. I got nothing for this one.
You sounded like when Osimo is at the end of his possibilities
Adam
for new
Sandler.
movies.
Osimo.
Adam Sandler is in love with a woman, but the woman's actually a golden retriever or something.
Also, another South Park reference is when you said the thumb thing. It reminded me of when the detective does all this scanning and stuff, and then he's like, "Wait a minute." Turns the hand around. He's like, "Oh my god!"
And then if we're gonna lean hard into the South Park bingo, here we go.
Don't be fooled by all my money. I still like to eat tacos, honey. So crispy on the outside, so super good and yummy.
That's Jennifer Lopez right there, or Miss Connor.
Flavored kisses, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good one.
Really good episode. Back credit names.
Oh right, let me just pull that. Oh, where to go? I have too many freaking tabs on my soundboard now. Here we go.
Bad credit names like
I'm Harvey Manfred Johnson.
I've got 4.
Okay.
Did you say Rob?
Huh?
Bob? What?
Nope.
I thought I heard someone say Rob real quick. Maybe it was the end of the sound clip, the bumper, or I'm going crazy. Who knows? Okay. Starting with Rich King. It works 2 ways.
Yeah, Dick King.
Yeah. Or like just a really rich king, Yes. Kind of cool, I guess. Sandy DeCrescent.
All right.
Jerry Slaughter.
That's a pretty cool name, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. And then the winner this week, Ricky Grundy.
Ew. Yeah, anything Grundle adjacent is not good.
Plus the Ricky Grundy thing, just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Time to compare the movies.
Time to compare the movies.
Current champion is Battlefield Earth. Going up against Gigli. Believe it or not, Gigli takes worst of its kind, 10% worse. As Battlefield Earth had a negative 53, which I think we thought was insurmountable, but Gigli had a negative 63. Rob, you had a 4-star for pitch. I had a 4.5, so Battlefield Earth takes its first punch. What's more offensive? We'll find out in a minute. Dialogue. I don't know. I'm lost. I don't know where to go with it.
I might go Gigli on this one.
I'm going Gigli on this one.
Because it's just like what you were saying earlier, Chris, and what I said in previous episodes, where it sounds like they're at their first table read, and that's what they decide to film in can and then distribute.
And they decided not to rework the dialogue at all.
Yeah.
Marie Callender's right alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was totally nuts. Production pushing your religion, or for Gigli, original ending was better.
I'm gonna go religion on this one.
Yeah, because that's more of a whole production.
Yeah.
Flaw.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, cool. 2-2 going into acting. What do you guys think?
I hate to do this, because I hate Gigli a lot, but I feel like the acting in Gigli really wasn't nearly as bad as the dialogue that they were delivering. And I feel like there were actually a couple moments I was like, oh, like they did okay with that role, you know? Whereas Battlefield Earth, I thought that never.
Yeah, I'll agree with Bob on that one because Gigli just like it has the regular typical rom-com beats to it. So it's like you can only polish a turd so much. It's still a piece of shit, but Battlefield Earth was just all around way worse.
I agree. I just don't know what Travolta is going for, and that just tips the scales for me.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going through when he made it.
yeah, seriously, no joke. All right, demerits will leave, I guess, because we're at 3-2 for Battlefield Earth, but I have a feeling I know which way offensive minigame is going to go, so we'll throw it to that.
Okay, here we go.
The offensive minigame. I don't know though. The way I wrote it, now that I'm looking at it, we'll see. All right, enslavement of a fictional space race, or hangover hunk has a handicap.
The fact that he has a handicap, or that was exploited and labeled as retarded.
I'm going for all of it.
Well, then that's it right there.
Yeah, because like you could pull it. Like What's Eating Gilbert Grape? I think DiCaprio actually did a pretty good job. You know,
probably because he studied really heavily to not offend.
Exactly. Whereas this one, there was like, "Hey, you do it," and he's like, "Okay."
I mean, enslaving a race is bad, but it was fiction and it was to the storyline. So I feel like it's this didn't need to be the way it was.
Yeah.
No, I did write fictional in there because I did really want Gigli to win this category. So.
Yeah.
And here's another example. We'll go to the bonus round anyway. But misplaced McDonald's marketing, or the Sicilian switch hitter.
I'll go switch hitter.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean you got to have product placement, man. Like it's just like that's just part of the game, you know. You want to get funding for your shitty movie. You need to have like a Verizon sign in the background or reference McDonald's so people know like it's a real actual product you could buy.
Sure. Did Gigli have that? I feel like they had something.
Yeah.
Mary Callender's.
That's true.
Yeah.
Guess that is something.
All right, so okay. Are we going Sicilian switch hitter then?
I guess so.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. We'll do the bonus round anyway.
Okay.
How's that sound?
I like it.
We're gonna switch them up. Gay girl gives Gigli her jigglies.
Okay.
Or ground beef.
Well, the whole turning a gay person straight thing is highly offensive.
It's extremely offensive.
Yeah, that's one of the worst things.
I think I put it there hoping that if we went to the bonus round, it would clearly win.
So clean sweep for Gigli on the offensive minigame. Is that
that is true.
Clean sweep.
Recall that correctly? All right.
That is
it
true.
Hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't. Okay, well, so offensive goes to Gigli, giving us a 3-3 tie. We didn't write anything down for Battlefield Earth as to give the movie that it's up against an advantage because Battlefield Earth is so bad. But if you guys had to give Battlefield Earth or Gigli a demerit, where would you go? What would you do? Because we can't watch this. We have to figure out.
I'm gonna do my favorite tiebreaker, and that's the gun to the head test. Okay. If I had a gun placed to my head and I had to watch one of these movies, I would rather watch Battlefield Earth. Because it's so bad it's entertaining, whereas this one's just like it's just bad. So Gigli, I think, is the loser in my mind.
Honest to God, if I have to run the same test, I'd go the same way. But also, it's just the fact that Battlefield Earth is fantasy, and it's got its strength in the fact that there was no expectations going into it. Where the other one, you have 3 Oscar winners. And you have a movie that's based in reality, and it's just so off the mark that
it is.
I would never watch it again.
I will never again. And you guys remember, I was texting you. I watched all of it, I think, on Thursday. And I was just texting you guys, like, you have to prepare yourself to be extremely offended. I've never felt so offended watching a movie, I don't think. I mean, Hot to Trot is up there.
Senseless.
Ice Pirates was up there. But man, this is just one line after another. Just
it's one thing if you're going for shock value and your jokes aren't landing. I could I'm okay with that because you're just trying to be edgy or whatever. It's
shock quality.
You're just trying to be edgy, but like this week they're actually trying to say something. I think.
Yeah.
What they were trying to say, I don't know what it was, but they were trying to say something.
I have no idea. So for next week, I don't know what to do because Ishtar definitely lost. But when last I saw, I don't know about you guys, Alien versus Predator and what did I put up this week? John Carter were tied. What did you guys? Did you guys see up to?
I vote and I ghost. I want to be surprised on the show, so I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't check either. I just regret not picking Crash. Anyway,
you guys want to flip a coin or something?
I have a guitar pick that has a turtle on one side and then nothing on the other, so we can do blank or turtle.
I call turtle for Alien vs Predator turtle.
All right, Alien vs Predator turtle.
Yep.
Alien versus Predator turtle.
Alien versus Predator it is.
All right.
Okay, cool. That was definitely really hyped. So that's what we're going to say. Big hype on that one.
Also, I don't know why drive-in theaters are such a big part of my life. I saw this I saw War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise in a double feature before Alien versus Predator at a drive-in in like Virginia.
Okay. Yeah.
My family used to have like a pop-up camper. We go to all the national parks and like we do our sightseeing and then go back to a campground or like a national park. And there was a drive-in. We had nothing to do one night, and we're like, oh fuck it. And we saw Alien versus Predator, and all I remember is like the pyramid like resets every 10 minutes and like shuffles into a new labyrinth or something stupid. And then you hear like a ding, and you're like, oh no, here we go again. That's all I remember from it because I was like 10.
Cool.
I've not seen it. Yeah, I've not seen it yet.
It's not good.
Well, I can't wait to see it. We will see just how bad it is.
Okay.
Next week for our last bad movie episode of the season, correct?
Exactly.
All right, Rob. Why don't you tell them where to find us to please email us? I haven't checked the email in a while, but
I check it because I got to do all the fucking copyright takedowns at YouTube.
Oh, okay, perfect. So I'm assuming we still haven't had one.
Yeah. No. And if you want to see our YouTube videos or listen to us on Spotify or what your podcast platform where you're choosing, go to www.theworstmovieevermade.com. And that's where you could also find our social medias and interact with myself, Bob, and Chris. We're all there. I said I don't give myself access to the social media because I have a compulsion to antagonize as many people as possible, and that's not good for our brand. So you'll probably get a hold of Chris instead of me.
Yeah, I hold it down because I'm less offensive. Yeah. Bob, last word.
I don't regret adding the mooing scene in the trailer because no one mentioned it in the episode.
Yeah,
that's true. The bull and cow thing.
Bull and the cow. Yeah,
it wasn't mentioned at all, so I'm glad I added it in.
Well, there you go. Just one more fucking thing to be offended by. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for listening.
See you guys next week.
See you.
And that's a wrap. Let me not exit the conference this time.